morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I agree with you that we human beings are lucky to be born as humans compared to trillions of other living creatures on this planet. But I'm having difficulty in accepting that the soul chooses to become son of a rich man or a son of a beggar. I find it hard. Why should the soul choose to become a son of a beggar?
Right. So if you remember from the previous talk that I had, there's three reasons we take incarnation on the earth, right? So the first reason was to experience. And for us as a human beings, as I said, there is judgments. This is good, this is bad, this is happy, this is sad. But for a soul, everything, each experience is neutral. And because each and every experience is neutral, whether to take birth in a rich family or in a poor family, from a human perspective, it feels like this is good or this is bad. But when we as a soul make that decision, it comes straight from the experience perspective. And when the soul chooses that experience, I'm sure you can imagine that the evolution journey of somebody who's in the poor family could be different than somebody who's in a rich family. So, some challenging situations when a soul chooses, a soul knows that this situation is going to fasten my progress. It's going to help me evolve much faster compared to if I'm in the comfort zone. So there are so many reasons when a soul makes a decision to take a birth as a human being. So many factors are taken into consideration. But these are the two major factors that I remember is to experience, and the soul knows that the challenges are going to help it grow faster. Those are the two that stands out to me right now.
But to look at the examples, for example, Satya Sai Baba was Shirdi Sai Baba before he was born as Satya Sai Baba, and Sadhguru was another meditator before that, and all the influential people were born as rich people to influence. Even Lord Buddha was born as a son of a king. And I haven't come across anyway. The soul was born as a poor person, suffering, and then evolving to influence other people. I haven't come across. Do you have any examples?
I mean, one example that stands out right now is Sudama, right? Krishna's friend. I don't know if you remember Sudama's
Yes,
story.
I do.
So, Sudama was Krishna's friend because even though he was a poor guy, he belonged to a poor family, he didn't even have food to feed his family, right?
Yeah.
But we all know Sudama today. How many such people's name do we remember today who had challenging life, who didn't even have money to feed their family, and we still remember them? So I'm sure there are much better examples, but the one example that comes out to me is Sudama, even Sant Kabir. And if I remember it correct, somebody can add on to me. Even Guru Nanak Ji, was he born in a rich family? I think Guru Nanak Ji was born in a poor family, if I remember it correct. So there are many. Let me see if there's anything in chat. Ramana Maharshi, yeah. So there are many, many other examples. Even I don't know if you know what's his name, Krishna's Bhakt. I mean, right now the name is not coming to me. Narsi Mehta. I don't know if you know Narsi Mehta. He was a Gujarati bhajan, Krishna bhajan writer and a singer. If you look up Narsi Mehta, Lord Krishna did so many miracles in his life. He was poor, so Lord Krishna himself came as a beautiful couple and they got Narsi Mehta's daughter married. And then he left. There were so many other situations where Narsi Mehta didn't have a single penny and he had to take care of his family. Krishna came 4 to 5 times in different human forms and helped him out. So there are so many examples, like, but whatever we have read or heard is all we remember. But there are few examples where evolved from being poor. But as I said, poor or rich is just an experience for a soul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for a beautiful question.
Hello, this is Charusmita. I have
Yes.
had I have had the same question Dr. Ashwa has had. I have had this question for years. Um, I just have a question as you are explaining. I wondered, where is the evidence? Where is this evidence that soul chooses where to be born, in from whom to be born? Where is the evidence? Who has seen the soul? Who has the evidence of how a soul thinks? What is the reference? I mean, for me, even the concept of soul, I always keep wondering who has seen a soul actually, and who has deciphered that soul has a mind to think. Does soul have a brain? I think people like me and Ashwa who have done a lot of science, unfortunately, our mind has been programmed to think and question and seek for evidence.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you so much for beautiful question. As I said, I'm a clinical pharmacist by profession, right? So I'm also a scientist, like by profession, right? But when it comes to questions like this, it's good to be intellectual, and we are meant to be intellectual. But at the same time, there are so many resources given by the universe in the form of books. Have you, I don't know if you've read the book by Robert Schwartz. It's about pre-birth planning, your soul's plan.
Thank
If,
you.
yeah, if you read that book, Your Soul's Plan, I mean, Robert Schwartz, he's not a spiritual, now he's a spiritual teacher because he came across this content, but he was like a normal human being like you and me. Born in America, working in corporates, raised by like normal parents who gave him little hard time. He had challenging upbringing and he didn't know why. He's like, what did I do? Why did my mom give me such hard time? When he was an adult, he had this awakening experience. Through that experience, he came across so many different resources. If you read that pre birth planning book, I think 80% of your questions will get answered, and the rest of 20%, read Dr. Newton's Your Soul's Journey.
Thank you.
So these books are written by scientists like you and me. They are not written by any gurus or rishis. You need scientific explanation, and these books have scientific explanation in it. So I highly recommend you to read those books, and it will open up your perspective so much to the point where you will feel like, oh my God, where was this material so far? I'm so late reading these books, is the type of feeling you'll have. But I
Thank
highly
you.
recommend reading Dr. Robert Schwartz and Dr. Michael Newton.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, of course.
Hello, namaste. My name is Sudha. I have a question. Being a mother of teenage children as well.
Uh,
So, when we see that the teenager is being addicted, do you take it as a just a witness to see their soul journey doing this? Because certain times you're not able to control them. So, how should we, when we are in the path of spirituality, how do you take the correct balance, doing your dharma correctly as a mother, and at the same time being in spirituality in the right path?
Beautiful question. So, one thing I would say is when it comes to situation like this, because I know somebody whose husband is alcoholic and she is going through tough time. I know somebody who's having tough time raising their kids. So we are all human beings and we do come across these situations. And Your question is super valid. Like, what should I do? What's right in this situation? So I would say we need to play our dharma first. So, being a mother, we need to guide our kids in the right direction. We need to give them frequent reminders, as many as we can. We can provide them resources that can help them wean off that addiction if they are ready for it. But at the same time, if things are not happening in the time that you are expecting, you should not lose your patience. You should not get angry, aggressive, and fight mode with them. You should not ruin the situation for yourself. Knowing that that is a soul on a journey, you are doing your dharma. You are being the best mom that you can. You are providing all the knowledge, wisdom, information, resources, whatever you can to them. Then it is that soul's choice to take the next step that they like. So it's the Gautam Buddha principle, attachment with detachment. So mom's attachment is going to guide the kids, but still stay detached from the scenario where it cannot put you down. It cannot take you into the negative emotions. So we need to stay empowered. We need to keep our light bright. And by keeping our light bright, we need to help the others. Because when we see such situations, especially immediate family member, it's very easy to dim our light as well. Where we go into, we get upset, we go into kind of trauma phase. Oh my God, what's happening to my kids? Why are they doing that? I know what's going to happen with their life, like a stress mode. It's normal and natural to feel that way, but we need to remember to keep our soul light bright, keep the wisdom alive, and still keep guiding them and allow them to experience them as their soul journey. So, attachment with detachment would be the ideal way. I know this is all easy to say in theory, but when it comes to practical implementation, it does get a little challenging. But if we connect it to meditation and spiritual science, I think we can slowly, if Gautam Buddha could do that, we can try. We are all on the path of trying to be that, right? So, attachment with detachment, guiding but not insisting would be the path, is what I think. But anybody
Thank
can
you.
add what they like. I think there
Thank
are
you very
some
much.
questions. No
So
problem.
I also kept one more question in the chat. You were mentioning about a book, 22 Souls and so on. What is the name of the correct title of the book and the author's name, if you could please mention
Yeah,
that as
sure.
well?
I will actually. The title of the book is 22 Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose. And I'll give you the author's name right now. It's written by Sonia Shaket.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, Divya.
First of all, thank you for a wonderful session, wonderful reminders. And my question is, sometimes, right, we forget this concept. We go into that blame mode or complain mode, or we question ourselves, why me? Why this is happening to me? So how do we remind us to our own self? How do we regain this? How do we be resilient and come back to the neutral and come back to the acceptance mode that yes, I have chose this experience, this particular difficult experience that I never want to experience, but I am responsible for this. Any tips? We understand this concept. I practice it, but sometimes it's too much to handle. You have too
Yeah.
many things going on. Everything comes in the same time.
Right.
Life gets tough sometimes. So,
Mhm.
any tips how to regain the balance?
So I'll give you my own example. There is this one person in my life, and they have been giving me hard time for many years. Like, things are good for a year or two, then they'll come back to me saying, oh my God, you did that to me. You did this to me. I'm upset with you. I'm not going to come visit you. I don't want to keep any relation. And they'll create the drama. Then things get better for a few months, and then they'll create the drama again. Then things get better, then they create the drama again. So this happened like almost, I would say, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times with the same person. And this last time it happened a couple months ago, and I was super upset. I'm like, why do this scenario keep repeating into my life? Like, I know I need to love that person unconditionally. I know I need to forgive them for what they've done. And it's a type of relation where I cannot let them go. You know, we have to speak to each other lifelong. So this scenario, when it kept on replaying into my life, just like you, I went into the victim mode. I'm like, oh, she did that to me. Why did she do this again? I don't know. I'm so upset. And like it literally for like 2 to 3 weeks, I was super upset with the situation. And then I reminded myself, I'm like, the person who's playing that role is not on the spiritual path. They don't know that what they're doing to others. They don't know they are hurting or harming others. But if I am on the path, I know that I'm not supposed to give the remote control of my emotions to anybody else. One bad scenario happening in your life for 30 minutes cannot define the rest of 23.5 hours. So I reminded myself that, okay, this one person is giving me tough time, but there's 10 other people who loves me so much. 10 other people who are giving me beautiful memories and golden moments. And I'm ruining those golden moments by those 10 people because of this one person. That's how I evaluated the scenario in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my mind, the remote control of my emotions is in my hand. If I am giving the remote control of my emotions to somebody else, that means I'm a puppet. I don't want to be a puppet. I want to be the creator of my life. So let them do what they need to do. The other thing I started doing is I started Ho'oponopono prayer, thinking of that person. Every time that scenario came to my mind, most of you might know about Ho'oponopono. It's the
Yes.
Hawaiian prayer, right? I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that person came into my mind, I said, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. As many times as I could. So I know I am energy, they are energy. At least I am not sending negative energy from my side.
Yes.
So this broke that chain of negativity between us. And we
Mm.
had a beautiful evening 2 days ago where I didn't even remember this person had ever given me hard time. We
Wow.
had that beautiful time 2 days ago.
Wow.
So we know we have to remember we are energy and we need to change the energy of the situation. The moment you will change the energy by sending positivity, the external situation has to change. The other person has to change. So remembering that we are energy helps a lot. I
Yes.
hope this helps.
Yes, definitely.
It was an
Thank you so much,
incredible
Chandni.
response. Thank you so much.
Um,
Especially the statement you made, 30 minutes of a day
yeah.
must shouldn't be. I mean, I have never heard such wise words. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And one time it happened like, you know how when you live with somebody 24/7, like you have difference of opinion. So there was this one morning and like day was going fine and my husband came up to me and he was just upset with somebody. He said few sentences and it was a weekend. So we had so many plans. We wanted to spend quality time with kids. So in the morning when he said those few sentences, I got upset for a few minutes. And then I asked myself, I'm like, it's Sunday. I want to spend quality time with kids. We want to go out for dinner. We want to do this. We want to do that. If I will stay upset for rest of the day because of his 3 sentences, it's going to ruin 4 people's day. So I had a choice. In the next 10 minutes, Do I just want to forgive him, love him unconditionally, and move on with the day beautifully? Or I can start arguing and fighting with him and ruin the day for all four of us. It was hard to make that decision because, we are in the human ego and we are like, oh my God, it's not my fault. How can you say something to me? So for first 10 minutes, I was in that human mode. But then I decided, I'm like, you know what? I want to make this day beautiful and I'm not giving the remote control of my emotions to him. The remote control is with me. So then in 10 minutes, everything was fine and we had a beautiful day.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it's
AB,
just frequent reminders to ourselves is helps.
AB, did you have a question?
Yes, Namaste Chandni Master. Such an amazing session today. It attracted me to continue to listen in the deeper sense. I have a follow-up question. I'm building on top of one of our meditator asked the question. When life situation is a challenging, I understood that that's where the light is close to us or close to anybody going through that. Can you help us to share few comments where a person can orient themselves so that they get, you kind of mention you take a one step and then God takes 99 steps towards what it means take a one step, what kind of a attitude, what kind of a orientation one has to hold on to in those tough situations. Can you help add a little more context to that? I feel it would be helpful for everyone.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for a beautiful question. So I personally feel and experience the way we are creating our life is by choosing between two options. Anytime any situation comes, we have two choices. Whether to wake up in the morning or meditate or sleep in. Whether to give quality time with family or you just want to keep watching movie. Whether you want to go on a walk or you want to sit on a sofa. If somebody is giving you hard time, whether to keep loving them or to start arguing with them. Do you want to play villain in somebody's life or you want to be the hero of your life? So each and every moment, we have two choices. The type of choice that we make is the direction our life goes. So we all like to listen to wisdom. We like to take gyan. Okay, theory is very good. We like wisdom. We can spend hours listening to YouTube videos. But when it comes to implementation, it comes down to those two choices. Do you want to stay in your human ego mode and be like the other person if they are giving you hard time? Or you want to remember, I am a spiritual being having human experience. And if I'm a spiritual being having human experience means I'm the hero of my story. If I'm the hero of my story, what kind of story do I want to play? So being in that consciousness that I am the hero of my story and being wise about those two choices, which direction am I choosing, is going to help you stay positive and alert about creating beautiful life.
Hello, hi, this is
Hello.
Geeta. Hello, Chandni. My question is about the dreams. Someone loved one is like in the lost or something. If the dream is like that, and if it is just like in front of your eyes, and it ruins your day, and it feels so anxious. Why do we get those kind of dreams?
So, I mean, I totally understand. When you see such scenarios, I personally will share my own experience. It's not about dream, but when I was meditating a few years ago, you know how we say that people see and experience different things in their meditation? So, one time like I have a 17-year-old son, and I mean, obviously we all love our kids so much, right?
Yeah.
So in one of the meditations, I saw him in the hospital bed. And I mean, he's perfectly fine right now. But that meditation, when I came out of it, I was so scared. I'm
Yeah.
like, people say that, oh my God, the experiences that you feel in the meditation is like you might see future in meditation or
Mm,
it's things like that. So
exactly.
for a few months, I was in panic mode, like being a mom, like you don't want your child to get sick. And
Mm-hmm.
especially hospital gown. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen to him in future?
Mm-hmm.
So that stayed stuck with me for a few months actually. I didn't even share with anybody that I saw this in meditation. But then after that, when I read about the soul lessons and soul purpose, I told myself, I'm like Chandni. I reminded the examples of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna's son was not obedient. His son gave him hard time. So there are so many spiritual people, they themselves were like masters, but their kids were soul on their own journey. So initially, when I was so much attached to that scenario, it took me down and I was upset and I'm like, I was scared and I was panic. I'm like, I hope nothing happens to him. But then after a few months, I told myself, even though my kids are my kids, they just come through us on the earth, but they are soul on a journey. So they are going to have the experience that their soul desires. And nobody can, even the creator of the universe cannot stop that. So
Mm-hmm.
who am I if I'm not able to control the situation? My anxiety or my panic is, it's not going to help them. It's going to, in fact, do the opposite. It's going to upset the current life of me and him because I'm always going to be worried. I'm going to be overprotective about him.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I told myself, I am a soul on a journey. I will do my part to the best of my ability. And that person is a soul on their journey. I mean, obviously, I prayed to God that only the best would happen to him. But at the same time, that soul is on its own journey and will experience what it's here to experience. And that gave me a little bit relief. I'm like, I mean, you cannot control each and every situation. If we'll try
Yes.
to control that, we'll go crazy.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah.
we just have to leave it up to the each and every soul to have their own experience.
Thank you so much, Chandani. Yeah, it was like and so much anxious and because and it was the dream was I'm fully aware. I remember each and every bit of it, and so I cannot forget. And because in the sometimes and if it is a if the person is a family member and closed ones, and it's very hard. Hard to
Yeah,
take it basically. So even it is a dream, and
yeah.
yeah, as you said, and what if it is yeah, so those kind of thing, and
Right.
that's
And
when
not all the dreams come true, let me tell you this.
yeah, that's true.
Because dreams and life scenarios, none of the life scenarios are preset.
Mm,
Only the major milestones are preset. But there are
mm,
so many scenarios which are still up in the air.
mm,
Those two choices that I talked about is going to give a direction to the life.
right.
So nothing is preset. So don't worry about it.
Thank
Not
you.
all the dreams come true.